Hello there and welcome to another Junk Hunt episodes where we kind of go through what we've found in this week in our charity shops, in our supermarkets and things like that. So we're going to call this one the Retford Rampage, basically because I went to Retford and Retford has a lot of charity shops there, and we got a lot, and I mean a lot of cars, 60 plus cars in total. So without further ado, let's get into our Junk Hunt review. Alright, so first up, the smallest of our find. We've got around about 16 of these little Micro Machine-esque fantastic burning rubber micro racers for £2. I grabbed these because I'm thinking for one of the War Rig trailers having some sort of Venator Star Destroyer inspired build, which will be kind of like, these will be the little fighters that come out, the little RC cars, as a little thematic thing. They're pretty cool. They look all right, especially for £2. They all seem to have decent roll. We'll just whip these open. Please stand by. I'm not going to get them all out. We'll get, I don't know, you, and you. I think that's it. Oh, you. So then we've got one of everything. One of every chassis. So these little ones. Then we've got like this little ambulance type of thing. Zoom in to you. So yeah, it's just like a little. Oh no, it's meant to be fire. It's not red though. Everyone knows a fire engine's red. And then we've got kind of on the front end. I don't know how well this is going to show up. You can get it into focus. They're a bit like little BMWs. But yeah, then we got a red fire one. We got the little police car ones. You kind of sideways. With the police car ones, I'm actually thinking I might snip off the sirens because they might work okay on actual Gaslands. 1/64 scale ones. We've got this kind of like muscle car, nice yellow muscle car, and then to me that looks a bit like a JDM style of car. On the front we've got like a lot of old Nissan 200 SXs, Mazda RX-7s, that kind of thing. So we can kind of like play undercover cops and robbers with these, I suppose, is a play set. Quite nice for £2. They roll pretty well as well. Like, it's amazing looking, like, because obviously your premium brands, your Matchbox, your Hot Wheels, your Majorettes, that sort of thing. Some of them are really expensive, but like these are for nothing, and they're super serviceable. Obviously not for little people, like little people, because they're going to be kind of like choking hazards, but yeah, I like them, and I think they'll make fun little remote control car-esque things for us to use in Gaslands. So there we go. So they're the smallest ones, and then we'll go with the biggest ones and quickly talk about some of those very quickly. Okay, so I didn't actually go out to get these size ones. A lot of the ones we got were bagged in bundles, ranging from kind of like $1.99 all the way up to I think $5.99 was their most expensive one. But yeah, we've got some nice, fairly big cars. So we've got this big old Corvette, which is from Fast and Furious 8, I believe, because it's got the F8 thing on the back. I can't remember all the Fast and the Furious films. I've not seen them all. The films that I keep watching, they're really hard to find on streaming services. or at least I find them hard to find on streaming services, because there's that many now. Obviously, everyone's fighting over who gets what. So yeah, these tend to be a little bit of a tricksy one to find. But yeah, we got this nice looking, it's a gorgeous little model. It's missing some bits like the grill and stuff like that. The wheels and everything, really, really good. I think by the bottom of it, it was probably some sort of display. Because you can see here, we've got the little things. You have to excuse my painted hands. I've been painting, I've been priming. Yeah. And this is a Jada one. I know Jada makes some really nice replicas. They do a really nice, like, Mad Max style V8 Interceptor, or the Euster, or the Ford Falcon. But Jada's very hard to get hold of in this country, unfortunately. See if we can just sort that out a bit so it's focusing on a little bit more. There we go. So we got that. And then another one from the Fast and the Furious. Let me just move these cars forward. Finding a place to put 63 toy cars is a little bit hard. But yeah, this is a Ford Victoria. Again, the wheels on this are absolutely gorgeous. This is in really good condition. So, because I like cars anyway, the likelihood or not is some of these won't get turned into Gaslands cars, especially this one because it's an oddball scale. Some of them will go on a shelf to be displayed and stuff like that. So yeah, this one is a, if we can see, it's a Mattel one. It might be a Hot Wheels one. It says FF015, which I'm assuming is Fast and Furious. It's 56 Ford Victoria. I like that there model. I think it's an absolute diamond. I think it looks really good. But yeah, and I mean the other thing is, because accidentally what's happened is, so we've got the Corvette, which is quite big. We've got that, which is a bit smaller. But then I've ended up with a GTR, Nissan GTR, which is your classic style pullback one. All of which, so I've got two cars. They're all missing spoilers. So someone must have not liked spoilers. Opening doors and stuff like that. Really good detailed, kind of like model. Actually in really good nick. All the pullback mechanism and everything works. Again, not much use usually. This is a Welly. Welly, I see a lot of Welly stuff kicking about, but look at that. It's got detailed exhaust and everything. Or like a detail for what it is. Exhaust system on the bottom. So we've got the GTR. And then there was one of my all-time favourite cars as well. Not this particular one, not the Evo 8, but we've got a Lancer. Lancer Evo 8. So I don't mind the 8. The 9 and the 10 wasn't a massive fan of. But this is another good one. Same sort of scale. And the Corvette is kind of in that scale as well. Almost a little bit bigger. But I figured, well, these are a little bit battered. Like, not to the point where they're not cool. And they're not serviceable as toys. Again, all this pullback mechanism works. But I might turn these into Gasland cars anyway. And have big scale Gasland cars. Because why not? And then to round out the kind of like the bigger ones, we've got this Alfa Romeo, which is I don't even know what scale it is, to be honest. It's bigger. It's bigger than a Hot Wheels, and this is a Solido scale 1 to 45, does that say? 1 to 43 scale. Serie Exclusivia. It's an Alfa Romeo GTO. I can't make out whether that's a GTO. I don't think it will be a GTO, because I believe the GTO name is heavily trademarked, or it has been trademarked, because originally, like, there was the Mitsubishi GTO, which is a gorgeous car, but that got renamed to the 3000 GT, or it was named the 3000 GT in at least in England. Maybe because there was the American muscle car, the GTO. I don't know. But yeah, so we've got a little Alpha car, which I quite like Alpha cars. I'd like to have a go in an Alfa Romeo, obviously, but everyone I know who owned an Alfa Romeo said, oh yeah, they're fantastic cars. And usually the story ends up with, you know, oh, it was really good, and then it blew up. So yeah, we got that one as well. Don't know what we're going to do with that one. It's not shelf worthy, if you know what I mean, to me, because it's not a car that really evokes any particular emotion. But there you go. So that was our kind of like big collection of bigger cars. So what we'll do now, we'll just go through the we call them funny cars because they're a bit funny looking. So the first of our funny cars, again, didn't intend to buy this one. This was in a bundle. It's called the Snot Rod. I don't know why it's called a Snot Rod. Let's move you back a bit. Getting central frame. Yeah, the Snot Rod. It's from Cars, the film. It's got like a little holographic eye thing. So this one is serviceable for what we might need it for because of a couple of things. We'll zoom a little bit in, get a nice view of you. Little Snotty the Snot Rod. It should be lime green, shouldn't it, if it was a Snot Rod, ideally. There you go. So these wheels, very good wheels, like nice 5-spoke deep dish with these big dragster style tyres. I can make use of those. They'll look fantastic on some other things. And then we take it apart, we have this lovely, if we just focus on the blower. Yeah, you see that blower? That'll come off and that'll go over something. That is very reminiscent of... So I used to love... There used to be a toy line and a couple of episodes of this program called Crash Test Dummies. And this was one of the junk bots, one of the bad guys. I think he was called Jack. Had a head made from a big blower like that. And it was fantastic. I've still got him somewhere. But yeah, so that's kind of like... the Snot Rod, a very kind of like useful. I might even be able to use this chassis for something, for a truck. Maybe remove the top. Yeah, he's got options. It's serviceable. We can do something with that. Then the next ones, there's not much we can do about these. These are probably going to go back to a charity shop, maybe near you. We've got 4 of these. They look like they're from some sort of set. I don't know what it says on the bottom. A real toy brand, which is... I don't even know what that's... I can't even quite make out what it says. But I think they're all from a specific series because they've got these types of wheels. It's like a little truck. It looks pretty cool. They roll yeah, there you go. They roll really well. But yeah, we've got this. Just like a little Arctic. I might be able to do something with them, but it's like to turn that into something for Gaslands is a lot of work, and more work than like the end of results. I think, you know, I could put the work in, make it look something serviceable, but it's always gonna be a little bit kind of meh, so to speak. You're never going to be 100% happy, and the time, the paint, the parts. Sometimes you just got to think, well, no, I'm just going to give it away, or, you know, put it in a box and completely forget about it. And then we've got this here police car. If we want to focus. We don't like the police car for some reason. Come on. There we go. So yeah, we got this police car again. It's quite a cool little thing. I think these are actually, as a kid's toy, like... I can show you one of mine in a minute. It's a little bit, you can tell this has been loved from like the chips on the paintwork and stuff like that. And I always like to see that because it's kind of like, well, this toy's, it's not been bought and left to rot. It's been played with, which is why I like buying the second-hand ones. It's had a use. It's had its intended purpose, not to just sit on someone's wall in collectiondom, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, this has brought someone joy. And that's a nice thought, isn't it? So we got the police car. And before we kind of like go, these two cars will never get turned into Gaslands cars because these are my own personal ones from when I was a child. But these are so my school, in primary school, so little school, had a massive hill. And I was always a Matchbox fan. I preferred my Matchbox. Plus, Matchbox were based on real cars. And I actually had quite a few Corgi cars as well, because Corgi cars were based on... You used to get them from petrol stations. It's like a loyalty gimmick, as well as Thunderbird figures and stuff like that. And, excuse me, because my dad was a driving instructor, we were pretty much in the petrol station a lot because he used his car a lot. He used to have a Nissan Micra, and I think he had at least one engine in it because it did that many miles. And then he worked for a company called BSM, and BSM, he had Vauxhall Corsas, and as part of the thing, he used to fill up, and he used to get Corgi cars, and he'd give them away and stuff like that. I've still got some of them somewhere, but yeah, these were my kid ones when I used to play, and as you can see, these are very much like scratched and scraped and split, and I love them. This one, I am tempted to buy another one for Gaslands, but yeah, so that's what I mean about when you kind of like go see a toy that's been well played with. You think you've served your purpose as a toy. But yeah, there's my little Ferrari, and there's my little GTO. Is it GTO? Oh, Dodge Challenger. There you go. Big boy. This used to be so cool. But yeah, so they're my ones. But when I see a chipped car, I think you've had love. And in those other ones, we've got this one. A little orange hot rod roadster, like a generic roadster design. We've got kind of like 350Z GTR AMG style front end, little 2-seat bucket seats and stuff. Again, a really cool little toy, but not much I can do with it, especially with the old Zonda style exhausts on the background. This one I really like. This one I might put a little bit of effort in to at least remove this kind of like winchy crane mechanism. We could use that. I think it's meant to be a kind of like... Oi! Told you with the good rollers. Maybe something like this. Like a car transporter crane thing. But yeah, we got that as well. And they're kind of like the funny cars. Or the weird scale, non-branded, or the real toy sort of thing. So that's them. So next, let's have a look at the what I would call quintessential Hot Wheels. All right, so here we go. The quintessential Hot Wheel collection. So when I say quintessential Hot Wheel, I mean kind of like the madcap Hot Wheel cars. The speed racers, the ones inspired by vehicles but are very much of the imagination sort of thing. Which, do you know what? Up until a day ago, I didn't really like them. But I watched a documentary. A guy on YouTube's done like a history of Hot Wheels sort of thing. And I found a new appreciation for these madcap things. So we'll actually look at them in a little bit of detail. So first up, we have got the 2017 Praying Menace. There we go. So we got What a name. I didn't realise it was called that. We got this kind of like bug praying mantis inspired car. Excuse the chair. With the aero style wheels. I didn't know they were a specific thing. But unfortunately there was a Hot Wheels designer, I found out, who died quite young, before his time, who designed those wheels because he liked them and he made them a thing in Hot Wheels. But yeah, we've got this praying mantis. I don't really know what I can do, because I like my realistic cars for Gaslands. But then if you look at Thunderdome and Road Warrior, there is some very much scratch-built, oddball, weird and wacky cars. So we might make a weird and wacky kind of like team. But yeah, this is the Praying Menace on like a yellowy green praying mantis. Some good bits on it, at least, that we can mess around with. And then we've got this, which is the Aeropod. Again, Hot Wheels 2014. It says glow wheels. So do the wheels glow in the dark? I'm assuming the wheels glow in the dark or something like that. But yeah, this we might be able to use because it's got some cool bits. It's got something in the back, which we could paint up as canisters. Maybe some sort of mine dropping van. We can change the wheels because I have got my 3D printer working, so we could see about printing some sort of wheels on it. Get some better wheels, because it's not a terrible shape. It's got some, like, I always call them Sibby style lights in between that bull bar. I don't know how well that's going to come out, but yeah, it's got this cool little protruding, it's like a front splitter spoiler thing that we might be able to get some sort of armour plating off her. So yeah, we got that glow van. I forgot the name of it already. Then there's a plane. Whoa, easy crash landing. Which I believe this is actually quite an old sculpt. It's made in 2020, but I think it's based on a older one. I can't quite make the name out. The Cry 98, Poison Arrow. That's what it is. It's a poison arrow. A little plane. Now that we could potentially do something with. Obviously, it's a plane, but we could make a maybe some sort of gyrocopter, because it would be nice to have a gyrocopter or a helicopter just to kind of like have it so I can play with it and see if I like it. But we will see. It's got some cool bits inside under this transparent bit here. Some cool looking engine bits as well. So maybe it'll get taken apart. But that's in really good condition. I don't like taking things apart and just cannibalise them if they're in decent condition. I'd rather give them back to the world for them to be played with. Then we've got the Alpha Pursuit. Now this is quite a cool one. I actually like this one. In the kind of quintessential Hot Wheels range. It's like a police interceptor thing. Like, it's got a nice interior on there. Can we make out the interior, please? Steve, can we get a shot of the interior there? I don't know how well that's showing. Legolas, what do your elf eyes see through the lens finder? Yeah, we can see that. So yeah, we've got this nice interior on there. A bit of big glass on it that'd need changing. But yeah, it's kind of like got a nice sleek design, like a modern day muscle car. Then, and I told you there was a lot of cars in this one. We have got the Fastmaster, and the 2007 Hot Wheels Fire Chief inspired. Well, there's conflicting information on the side of this vehicle if we look at there. So we've got Fire Chief, okay? Fire Chief deals with fire. And then it's got HWPD, got Hot Wheels Police Department. So, I don't know, maybe in this universe they're all mixed together. But yeah, they all seem to have this solar panel-esque design. It's okay. It's fine. Again, it's got some nice lines on it and stuff like that, but it's not necessarily me. We might be able to do something with it. It might go as terrain. I mean, one of the weapons in Gaslands is a trebuchet. So some of these might just get a bit roughed up, and we might have them as ammunition for the trebuchet on the back of a trailer. But we will see. Next up then, we've got this one, which is a little bit... it's an older one. It's a 2003 Mattel one. It's got some really nice wheels on it. What's it called? It's called the Collator. Collator? I don't know. It's on the back. You make that out. I'm not very good. I'm a bit dyslexic. When they put the letters and the numbers together, you know, like cool kids, I don't do well. But look at those wheels. They're nice 5-spoke wheels. We can probably do something like that. The problem with the Hot Wheels, well, all ones, is there's no tread on them. And we all know chunky tread is very good in the wastelands. But look at that fantastic engine on that one. Again, this might get salvaged into something. If you've seen the original Death Race film, like not Jason's, the original one with David Carradine and Sylvester Stallone and a bunch of other people, some of these Hot Wheels vehicles would work well if I did a kind of Death Race 2000 inspired team. I think that could be quite fun. That one especially would work well. Right, this one, I don't understand it. It's like a solar... What's this one? The solar... Formula Solar. So it's meant to be like kind of like your... like a Formula 1 inspired solar powered thing. On this one, the coolest thing about it is this lifts up and you've got some batteries or something in it, and you've got the little cockpit. This to me is quite an uninspired design. It rolls really well, but like even the wheels are really plain on them. At first I thought the wheels had popped off, but then I remembered that they're all forged in one piece of plastic. Rolls fantastic, but yeah, don't know what we'll do with that one. It could make a useful trailer bed, I suppose, as it scoots off into the different. And then we've got this Guardians of the Galaxy inspired 4x4 thing. Could make a decent buggy out of this one. There's no indication of what this vehicle is called, other than like on the side you've got the lineup, the kind of like what was in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, big old lineup. What we Star-Lord, Baby Groot, so it must be the second one. It Thrax, Dave Bautista, Rocket, and the pretty lady in it, which, you know, I can't remember her name. The lady who was fantastic in the new Star Trek films as Uhura, and she's been in some other things. I think she's done something quite moving as well recently. I like her. She's a cool actress. I don't remember her name, but that's fine because I'm terrible with names. But yeah, it's got some good wheels on it. I think we could make a good truck or buggy from this. Not necessarily a straight donor car, but again, potentially might. It's got that armoured look. Maybe some sort of Rutherford military escort vehicle. Because some of these will get turned into vehicles which will be mission objectives. Like, you know, this could be a VIP transport car. You've got to hunt it down. One team's got to protect it. One team's got to hunt it down, sort of thing, in the wastelands. So yeah, we've got that one. Then there's the Nitrium. Another Hot Wheels one. Hasn't got a year on this one. F21. Its fastest record. I mean, it's plastic, clear plastic, a lot of it, and I think it's dull as dishwater. If I'm honest, because I don't know. It's just I like the colour, the colours and stuff like that, but it's not for me. I don't really. There's nothing really much I can say about this, so I'm just going to put it over there. And then we got the Spider Car, which is not a spider car. It's the Arachno. Oh, the Arachnarod. That's a clever name. Look at the details on the bottom of that. On the bottom of the Arachnarod. That's some good like attention to details on the sculpting. Unfortunately, it's got these two really cool jet engines on it, but they're slightly damaged. So we might be able to salvage something from them. The top, it's definitely spider themed. It's not something that I'm a massive fan of. Maybe the missus will like it. Maybe the missus wants a spider themed car for her team, Kirby's crew, but I don't know. It's not for me. The wheels on it are pretty cool though. I want to try and figure out a way that if I can put tread on a Hot Wheels tyre. If you know how to do that, tell me. Or point me to some directions of some videos and we'll do it. And then we got this one, which is kind of like a weird hot rod inspired thing. It says Fire Ant on the top when it goes in focus. There we go. We've got exceptionally poor lighting in the room tonight. I do apologise for that. Doesn't want to play ball, but there we go. So this is the racer. What is it? It just says racer on it. Racer one and Salt Flat Racer. There we go. So that's the Salt Flat Racer. It's the Salt Flat Racer. Quite a cool hot rod inspired sculpt. Might be useful. It's got a little bit of the kind of like the lone wolf vibe going on, but more enclosed to me. I don't like the asymmetrical exhaust on it. Like you've got these side pipes on this side, and then you've got these long double dual pipes there. That's going to make it some sort of 6-cylinder thing, like a V6, but without the exhausts on, so it wouldn't be a V6. I don't know. It just confuses me, and I don't want it. I don't like it. Symmetry cars only, please. Unless it's some of the older ones, which we've got one of those. We'll talk about that in a bit. And then we've got a Hot Wheels Vulture. Now this is a pretty cool car. I have to admit the Vulture is cool. Like it's quite sleek. It's quite low. I can see this making a good Gaslands like dragster racer thing. Like a little ram car. The idea is it scoops people up. A bit like that thing from that Fast and Furious film with Jason Statham. Was it Jason Statham? Where he goes, one of them, where he has the flipper car. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got this plane thing, which is the Jet Threat. Oh, that's a nice name. And that's a sweet name. Yeah, you got the Jet Threat. That's pretty funky. Like the main thing is it looks like an F1 car, and then on the top we've got this kind of like is it the F-15 Strike Eagle, or maybe a Eurofighter style design if we're going off. It's got kind of like front winglets on it. Talking like I know everything about planes. I don't really. I know what an F-15 Strike Eagle looks like because I had a big model of it. It was one of the biggest models I ever built when I was a kid. Or biggest scale ones anyway. And I really liked it. But yeah, this might find a home somewhere. In our Gaslands troop. It might get turned into bits. It might go to a charity shop. we shall see. I mean, if there is anybody, like a quick tangent, before we look at this one. If there's anyone that collects Hot Wheel cars and ever comes across anything that I have, anything that they would like, anything they want to do swapsies with or anything like that, do get in contact and we can work something out. I mean, I'll ship them pretty much anywhere as long as the other person is covering the expenses, if you know what I mean. Like if it's just next door, then fair enough. There's a couple of quid to post it. I'll say about a couple of quid to send it you. Depending. You know, I'm not just going to give everything away, but yeah, you know what I mean. If it's like America or somewhere like that, then you know, we might have to do some PayPal money swapping of postage fees and stuff like that. But yeah, if I find something that you want in your collection, then do let me know, and we may be able to do a trade or something. Because that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But then we've got this one. This is a fantastic engine. This looks like it should go on a lorry. It's like a V. Well, it's not. It's like a twin engine. How many cylinders we're guessing there? We've got 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8. So we've got 8. It was 16. It's like a 16-cylinder lorry engine put into a thingy. This is the Crazy 80. I think it's meant to be Crazy 85th. It's 2000 Hot Wheels 1, made in China. But yeah, it's quite a cool, funky, like little car on this one. If I'm honest, I love the engine. I love the front end. Like I don't know what I'd do with that. I mean, I've seen quite a few. There's quite a few channels that do that, like the racing of Hot Wheel cars, and it looks so fun. And I didn't realise you could get so many, because I see Hot Wheels stuff. It's usually in charity shops or toy shops, and it's very, you know, it's aimed at kids. But I'm discovering through like Gaslands and through like going to charity shops, doing like a bit of research, watching what other people are doing on the old YouTube, and I'm discovering there's such a big base of kind of like adult collectors of Hot Wheels stuff, and you know they do all the racing and stuff like that, and it looks fantastic. I said to the missus, I said we need to get some Hot Wheels track, and we need to set something up so it goes from upstairs and downstairs, and we can just whiz cars around, because I know you can get like the little Hot Wheels, or you used to be able to get a Hot Wheels car that holds a GoPro, and because I know people have kind of like done it with model railways and stuff. They've made massive model railway kind of like tracks that go everywhere. But yeah, we might set up some sort of racing league at some point. I don't know. I have a lot of hobbies and not much space and like a limited income. I'm working now, which is fantastic. But on the same token, you know, money only goes so far, don't it? And between real life cars, like modelling hobbies, PC hobbies, and medieval reenactment hobbies, it gets expensive real quick. But yeah, anyway, that is the quintessential Hot Wheels cars that we found. So we'll clear them out of the way, and then we'll go through the kind of like real life inspired ones, the ones that will most likely get converted into terrain or actual vehicles. Let's look at some actual real life inspired cars. Although looking at one of them, I don't think it's real life inspired. Anyway, I digress. First up then, again, not ones that so the way I usually do the bag things, so sometimes in charity shops you will see a bag and it will have things in, and you'll be like, oh, there's one car I want in there, but it's $1.99, so I might as well take the rest of the kind of like 9 cars that come with it. Either give them back to the charity shop, keep them, collect them, do what you want with them, turn them into terrain. So this one is very much one of those. It's a tractor. Wheels are a bit janky. I think this could look cool as a bit of sideline thing if we make an arena. The wheels might be useful off it because the wheels are pretty good. It's not a specific tractor, it's a Matchbox one. It just says tractor on the bottom of it. It's Tratter. What make is your Tratter? Tratter. It's a Tratter from the land of Tractorville. I mean, even the branding, it's a Tractor 703, it says on it. So yeah, it's like a small tractor. A MIDI, are they called MIDI tractors? I can't remember. It's like the small one with a nice cab. So yeah, little tractor. Quite cool. Don't really know what I'm going to do with it, but there you go. And then we've got the Porsche Boring. I mean the Porsche Boxster. So I think I've mentioned about my thingy with supercars and hypercars, and I don't really like them. I like some of them. Most of them I find a bit kind of like boring. And this would be one of them. Like, so Porsche have made some fantastic looking cars. Some of the Dakar ones are brilliant. They're like the rally ones, the old 911s, and stuff like that are great. And then some of them never did it for me. The Boxster being one of them. So this is a Porsche Boxster. It's in silver. God, silver used to be a boring colour. I think most cars used to come in silver because, especially in the UK, because any other colour was like an additional extra. It just came in silver. And if you wanted a red car, you had to pay extra for it. So most people were like, oh, well, I'll just have a silver one. Because I used to have a silver Vauxhall Astra, Mark IV Vauxhall Astra. And it was one of those things, every now and again, well, I say every now and again, most weekends, at that time when I had that car, we'd go out and the car park would be full of like silver Mark IV Astras and silver Ford Focuses, and it'd just be like, where's my car? You would literally have to do the clicky fob thing to work out where your car is. But yeah, so silver, I always found it a boring colour on cars. But yeah, this is a real toy Porsche Boxster 1/58 scale. There you go, Porsche Boxster. Again, it's a nice little toy. It's got some lovely detail on it. Some nice like mould lines, like as in like the good mould lines, like where it's been moulded and sculpted. The interior is really nice on it. So we might do something with it. I just scrap it, like step on it. On purpose and have it as a wreck somewhere. We'll see. My contempt for Porsche Boxers. But anyway, we've also got this lovely. Now this is my sort of, getting into my sort of vehicles, is the Toyota 4Runner. I don't remember seeing many 4Runners. I don't think they were massive in the UK. We had the Hilux. I remember seeing what year would a 4Runner be? It's going to be an old one, isn't it? This is a Matchbox Model 1 Toyota 4Runner 1985. I mean, I was born in 1988, so we're kind of... This is before my time. But people used to keep cars for a long time, especially where I live. I can't remember seeing many Toyota 4Runners. The old Ford 4x4, which I forget the name of. Isuzu Troopers. You see Isuzu Troopers everywhere. Everyone used to have an Isuzu Trooper where I lived. But yeah, Toyota 4Runner, I like it. It's just a good solid little car, and I think it'll make a good... in fact, this one, even though it's beige, I mean, I hate beige with a passion. Again, another uninspired colour. This might go on my shelf of cars I like. But yeah, it's got a really neat... So Toyota used to be... I mean, I suppose today, by modern standards, Toyota still do it, but they used to do these really cool, simple, utilitarian, like front-end grills, like no-nonsense, quite mean, like just in your face. And I like that. I think that's a nice sculpt. Then we've got so this one was bought specifically. I saw it in a charity shop. It was 50p. The Sunray. I think it's some sort of Jeep. It's a Welly. It's made by Welly. Number 3333. Made in China. No other details on the bottom of that. So yeah, the reason I got this is it reminded me a little bit of the Jurassic Park Jeep. The missus is a massive Jurassic Park fan. It was 50p. I mean, what else can you buy with 50p nowadays? It's like you struggle to get sweets for 50p nowadays. So yeah, so we got that. It's got a nice engine bay, which I can maybe do something with. So yeah, that is most likely going to get painted up as a Jurassic Park Jeep, but with machine guns on it. Well, it'd be quite cool. So you could have a Nedry style driver in there. You know, just put someone in a yellow Mac, and maybe have a Dilophosaurus with its head popping out like a little dog. Do you know what? I might even have a small Dilophosaurus toy somewhere that came from like one of those egg toys from when I was a kid. We might do that with that if I've got one. If not, see about printing one or getting one from somewhere. So yeah, so that's that one, a little Jurassic Park Jeep. And then we've got a Unimog. Now I did buy one of these. The one I've got is somewhere, but it's more of a military Dakar style one. This is done as a fire search and rescue wheel. Unfortunately, I can't. What's wrong with it? The pins are really rusty on this, so I'm gonna probably have to change the wheels maybe, because it's rust, but not in a nice way rust, and some of the wheels are a bit wonky. But yeah, we got this like Unimog. This is quite a good, heavy, solid vehicle, I think, for Gaslands. I love the bed on the back. It's got some stowage, in-scale stowage, which we can make use of. It's got these spare wheels, which we can make use of. It's got a nice flat bit on the top, which we could probably put some form of machine gun or rocket battery, and a nice ram. Although, I mean, you could get away with sort of saying this vehicle is a ram, and you know, I think only the thingy of people would turn around and say, oh well, it's not got a clear indicated ram armed on it, because look at it, it's a goddamn Unimog. I would imagine there's been quite a few Unimogs just drive through things in the past, but there we go, the Unimog. Next up then, we've got, I suppose actually this would be, yeah, there's the quintessential Hot Rangers, that Hot Wheels that's managed to sneak in. So we've got the power panel, a very Jeep inspired sort of thing. Nice blue wheels, 5 spokes. I like 5-spoke alloys. They're one of my favourite types. 5-spoke, and they're kind of like the Oz Racing Rally wheels. They're my favourite. Or other than that, I like old Steelies, old deep dish Steelies. Best wheel. If anyone wants to buy me some for my new van, that would be fantastic. But yeah, other than that, yeah, with little power plant, chunky little Jeep. It seems like a bit big scale, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that one, if I'm honest. A lot of these came in bags, so this is a very much a cheap generic Lamborghini inspired supercar with a kind of rear engine sculpt, which is quite nice. We might cut that out and use it on something, but other than that, I think this is probably just going to get deshelled, because we've not really got much of anything on it. So I'll probably take the screws out the bottom, because we've got screwed together one. Take those out, put the wheels in a box somewhere, and just have the shell, and probably start making a pile, like a scrap pile of like broken down shells. Maybe keep the bottom as well. We shall see. Another one, quintessential Hot Wheel one, but one that looks really cool. This will make a nice little buggy. It's the fast 4-wheel drive. Flippy. I quite like this one because it's kind of got a built-in bolter. Like they look like, I know they're the headlights, but they look a bit like bolters to me. So that's cool. I think it's got a really cool profile. I think with, again, get some nice tyres on it. Yeah. See what I'm feeling here. Some nice tyres. Look at that. It's maybe some Julies on the back. We'll see. I think that could work really well as a buggy. because you can't have enough buggies. And then we've got the another Hot Wheels one on old 2008 custom V8 Vega. There we go. Look at that. Look at the flame job on that. Although red flames on a red car, I don't know. It just seems a bit kind of like you had enough to paint your car black or to have the flame job on, so you went with the flame job and you left the car red, and then you were disappointed. You know what I mean? It was one of them. The owner had to make the decision. I would have painted it black personally in that make believe situation. But yeah, nice old Hot Wheels one. I like this sculpt. I think it's a fantastic sculpt. I think this will look really nice. There's a little, I don't know. The problem when it's a sculpt like that, I don't like sticking guns and stuff like that on it, because I like the model so much. It's just the colours on it. But we'll see. We'll sort something out on it, I am sure. Very, very, very nice V8 Vega. I thought this was a Camaro originally. I thought it was Bumblebee. But I was wrong. I'm not an expert on American muscle cars. There's ones that I know and like, and then others thinking, oh no, we've got another quintessential Hot Wheels one. But it's a boring one. Well, I think it's boring. Each to their own, you know. It's a super hypercar. I mean, I think I do find myself in being a bit weird when it comes to hypercars and supercars. Because if someone, do you know, like you have these Amaze and these various different questionable, or I find them questionable because I don't trust them. The charities where you win a house and a car, and it's like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something thingy. I would probably sell that Ferrari Lamborghini and buy myself something like a Mark III Cortina, because to me that's a cooler car than a Ferrari Ferrari. I don't know. I just think they just don't do anything for me, supercars. They do. They sound fantastic. But yeah. So this is the 40-something, the Hot Wheels 40-something. It reminds me of a more modern day Corvette. But that's probably because it's yellow and black. But it's definitely got that kind of like American modern day muscle kind of like thingy, maybe with a hint of Ferrari in the back end there. What was it? Was it Ferrari Spider? So yeah, we got that. And then we got a Beetle. Little soft top Beetle. VW Beetle. I think this is a slightly bigger scale. It's a Welly, made in Welly, and it's a VW New Beetle convertible. I think this might be 1/56 scale. I'm not sure, because there is a Mini, which we'll be looking at next, which is a similar sort of scale to this, and I think they might have, and that's the new Mini, so I'm wondering if it came in the same set. Quite like this one. I like it's a bit damaged. The windscreen's kind of like coming off, but that's fine. We can replace that with something. The wheels on it are quite nice as well, because the detailed. We've got some suspension saggage down there, but that's fine. I quite like the idea of using these, like in Fury Road. I'm pretty sure it was a Beetle that was, or in one of the Mad Max films, the Beetle was like a turret. I can't remember the word. You know, like basically a gun emplacement, and the guns were pointing out. So it might go on the back of a war rig or something like that at some point, or like, I don't know. It will definitely find a use, even if it's just for parts. I'm not a big Beetle fan. The old Beetles are cool, but I like the old Beetles from an engineering point of view rather than a actual vehicle point of view. And then this one's got terrible wheels. This is the BMW New Mini 1/56 scale by Real Toy, and the shell is fantastic, but the wheels on it are just dreadful. Like, it's like, I saw what you're doing there. But they've gone into this fantastic detailing on like the back end. Even doing like the little bumper strips and the little tail guard strip, you know where the button is. The little tiny mini decal. The tail lights with the indicators and stuff like that. It's not just painted red or orange. So much detail, and then the wheels on it are just awful. Absolutely awful. And it's even got this nice kind of like metallic orange flecked paint. Beautiful interior. Fantastic little car. I suppose being British, I should have a Mini on the team, even though this is not technically a real Mini. This is a German BMW copy of Cash In. So you could go over there. Anyway, next one. This is fantastic. This is getting turned into a Gaslands car. Not even any second thoughts. We got Hot Wheels branded. I don't know. It's like a mini monster truck thing. It's a Olds 442. So Oldsmobile. Is that Oldsmobile? Is that a brand? I don't know. Most of my muscle car knowledge comes from Fast and Loud and Russ Brothers. And if Mike from Russ Brothers hasn't mentioned it, hello. Apologies for that. I got offered some ice cream. Look, some Haagen-Dazs ice. I'll blur it out. I'll deliberately unfocused just so Haagen-Dazs can't sue me. Someone offered me ice cream, and I thought, yeah. I mean, it's about 5 degrees, but yeah, it's always time for ice cream. But yeah, as I was, I can't remember what I said, but yeah, this Oldsmobile Olds 442 is fantastic. I love it. Just love the raised kind of like look of it. I think it's fantastic. A fantastic car. Really nice fun. And well, as I said, yeah, unless it's been on Fast and Loud or Mike from Rust Valley Restorers has mentioned it, and he does a lot of Super Bs. He likes his Super Bs. It's not cars that I'm massively familiar with, the American ones, but this one definitely got some scope. Big semi-monster truck sort of thing. One of the things I also printed out was some of these sirens and this engine block, if it'll focus. Come on, focus on the engine block. There we go. This engine block, the 2-part engine block. So I think that on there, with maybe some sirens, we could have like an enforcer, a really hardcore enforcer. So yeah, that's definitely getting Gaslands. That gives me lots of inspiration. Then we've got this made in China 8022. Just a generic. Would have thought it came in a multi-pack of other emergency vehicles, because that's usually how they're done. Fire department lorry. No boom, unfortunately. No ladders and hoses, although that does turn, so we could possibly put a big gun in there. This has got potential for something. Like, it's a well detailed sculpt, even though it's a cheaper one. The wheels on it I'd need replacing. Again, we have the technology to replace these wheels on it, so we might do something with that. I think I will actually do something with that. Maybe put a big gun on a turret, because it's scale wise it's pretty good, and like I said, the details on it nice. It's kind of like got a daft Leyland Daft sort of like lorry look to it. So then we got that. Next we've got another vault. So we've had one of these before. I don't know what it's meant to be built on. It looks like on the front of it, the little moulding there for the badge, to me that looks like, is it Chevrolet? Yeah, Chevrolet, I think, is that one. You tell me in the comments. Again, Chevy's not a big brand in this country, but it reminds me of a Civic, one of the newer newer Civics. But yeah, I think, like I said, we've got a red version of this. I like it because it's got a parachute on the back. It's got like... So if I do... Is it Michigan? The ones where it can have nuclear engines? I could have a pair of nuclear engine powered cars, which might be interesting to play around with. And then we've got this old classic Hot Wheels Corvette Stingray. 1979. And I think this is a bit of a... It's not worth much, because I've checked. This is a bit of an iconic-y one, this. Like this sculpt and this colour and that. Nice little Stingray. So this might just go on the shelf. Shelf of interesting Hot Wheels vehicles. So yeah, good mould. Quite accurate, I think. Split window down the back. Always looks good. It's a little Corvette Stingray. This is one of my favourite ones. This, look at it. It's like what the Americans would call a station wagon. I think it's got this like wood paneling trim. It's a Matchbox Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser. Is that the one from Lampoon's Vacation? So I like this style of car anyway. I just like old dodgy looking cars. The front end of it looks fantastic. It's like ugly, but nice at the same time. The wheels on this are fantastic. These are the type of wheels I like. That old school kind of like steel wheel, deep dish, kind of like multi-spoke with the wing nuts on it, the big wing nut things that hold the wheel on. But the best thing about this car, I don't know how well it'll show, you've got little dogs in the back, 2 little dogs. So again, I might have a look. I might buy a couple of these because this one could be a cool like K9 unit and proxy the dogs as some sort of like dropped, maybe some sort of like RC car or something like that. Goes around, the dogs jump out. Was it the Russian dogs that were meant to be the... So I don't know how true it is because I got lots of buddies that used to be in the forces and stuff like that. So I got told a lot of different stories about training things. I think some of them are common knowledge and some of them maybe not. But apparently there was a thing to do with the Russians. Oh no, it was during the Second World War, I think. The Russians trained Alsatians or some sort of dog to basically plant explosives on tanks. Do you know, as like an anti-tank destruction thing. Obviously the dog died in the process or would have died in the process. It's like dropping mines basically, like the Americans dolphin mine squad that all swam off, but that's a different story. But they trained these dogs using the Russian tanks because obviously that's what they had access to. So when it came to actually deploying them in the field, instead of running towards German tanks, they ran towards Russian tanks, and obviously that didn't end particularly well. A little faux pas. Don't know how true that story is. Apparently it's true, but there you go. I love old stories like that. But yeah, this Vista Cruiser, look at it. It's fantastic. There's so much you could do with this, like having either stowage or luggage or some sort of machine gun or flamethrower or something. Have it as like a little K9 unit with the dogs in the back. I love it. I think it's great. And it's in really good condition. It rolls really well. It's got some scuffs on the side, but this doesn't look like it's been massively played with, to be honest. Next up then, we've got an Evo. And I believe this is either an Evo 9 or an Evo 10 or Evo Final, depending how you weigh from what it looks like. But yeah, it's an Evo. I had to get had to get the Evo. It's a red Evo. as I said earlier, not my favourite. I would have much preferred an Evo 6, or I'd like an Evo 6. But I am a big rally fan. These never saw. I think the Evo 7 was the last one that they ever rallied in earnest, like a proper full sports works team. There's 2008 Lancer Evolution, Hot Wheels one. It's a nice big chunky car though. I do like it. It's in really good condition as well, this one. This might go on a shelf. But I think I'm probably going to convert it into a Gaslands one. It's not screaming anything in particular as regards to weapons and loadout and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see on that one. And then you can't have an Evo and not have a Skyline. So I managed to find a Skyline. I love Skylines. Evo has always been my favourite, but the old R32, R33 and R34 beard haired off the yeah, that was a beard hair. Anyway, yeah, the old R32, R33 and R34 Skylines. I think they're beautiful cars. I think this is an R33. I'm not sure. Again, it's just a Hot Wheels Nissan Skyline. It says 2001, made in China. This particular one, a nice bit of detail on the bottom. Not that keen on the wheels. It's got this like Japan style theme. Okay, obviously it's JDM racer sort of thing going on there. But yeah, nice R33. I think it's an R33. Or it might be an R32. It's definitely not an R34. I can't remember what the back ends look like on either of them. I think that's an R33 though. Correct me if I'm wrong though. I might even Google it in a bit. I might even put it up on screen. We'll see. Then we've got this 64 Riviera, which looks fantastic. I've not shown the missus this one because she'll want it for herself because of the cool Cadbury's purple sparkly paint job. But I also want this one as well because I love the shell. Not a fan on lowriders and slammed vehicles as such because you know, I like higher vehicles. So one of my favourite cars that I'm looking forward to converting to a Gaslands car is still in the box look. Is this one? It's a Ford Puma. WRC cars. I'll put it up on screen. It's Gus Greensmith's Ford Puma from a few years ago, because I'm assuming it's a few years ago, because that's when the Puma first came into WRC, when M Sport switched from, what were they at? Did they have the Fiesta? I can't remember. But yeah, the Puma. I like my rally cars. I like things jacked up. I like things higher. I like things with a bit of clearance. This one is cool though. I've got to admit. So we'll see what we do with that one. I mean, again, it could make a good. It could actually be a cool VIP car for the Curb Crew, her team. And then we've got this generic Ambiance. It's a cool little van. I think it's got some scope. We can do something with the shell. It's just a made in China kind of like jobby. Not much to really say about that. It's just a solid. You can feel how cheap it is, cheaply made. But kids' toy, fantastic. Then we've got this little hot rod. Unusually, so this is a 2007 Mattel. It's a Hot Wheels, but it's got no kind of like indication of what vehicle it is, other than it's made in Indonesia.
Jack.
Yeah?
Sorry, can you just look out that window?
Alright, sorry for that interruption. That time no one gave me ice cream. I did get a cup of tea, but there was some quads kicking about. This is a problem when you live in the middle of nowhere. You get random people in quads, usually poaching, kicking about, and sometimes they come a little bit close to the house and start shining torches and that through your windows. So you have to go out. And most of the time they just shoot off and run away, but every now and again you have to explain to them why that's not allowed. Usually with a big Alsatian at your heels, just to reinforce the point of get off my property. But anyway, yeah. So this is a bit of an unusual one. I think it's some sort of Ford Pop hot rod. Looking at it, maybe Ford Angular. It definitely looks like a Ford. I'm feeling Ford. It's got some really nice like engine bits on it. I think this would make a good like Mad Max Fury Road hot rod inspired thing. We've got a bit of a roll cage going on inside. We can kind of like maybe chop the bumper out, the rear thingy. But yeah, the reason this is unusual is because it's not actually got any particular markings on it. It says it's Hot Wheels 2007 Mattel L9940, and it's made in Indonesia. Now the bottom of it's really detailed, but apart from that, I don't really know. I don't know where it's from, who made it, what model it is. It's a bit of a mystery. It's a cool car though. It looks cool. I like this one. Yeah, so we've got that one. Then we got a straight up dragster. Pro stock. Is it a Camaro? Yeah, Camaro. Was that the brand I was thinking of, the Volt? Is that a Camaro, the Volt? I don't... Yes, it is a Camaro. There we go. Not a Chevrolet, a Camaro. Bet some people are cursing me. Dude, you don't even know anything about cars, man. You should quit your life. But yeah, this is a 2010 Pro Stock Camaro. Another Hot Wheels one. Quite a cool little thingy. I think we could do quite a cool thing. So one of the prints on Thingiverse is a Gigahorse conversion kit. And I think this could look like good with a jacked up Gigahorse kit. But we shall see. We shall see on that one. And then the last two, we've got this Hot Wheels. Cool little car, based on a what is it? It's 2001 Mattel, made in Malaysia. Corvette. Is it an SR2? Was this like America's land speed record attempt maker? Maybe was it a? It kind of looks like an old school Le Mans style car to me, like that style of racing. Do you know, with the streamlined bit for where the driver is? It's a cool looking car. When I saw this one in one of the bags that I got, I immediately thought this would make a good kind of like Frankenstein from Death Race 2000 inspired vehicle. So yeah, there's that, which is pretty damn cool. And then finally, we've got the... I suppose this is actually quintessential Hot Wheels, isn't it? The Haulinator. Not based on anything in particular. It's just a little truck with a... Oh no, I've just knocked my ice cream over. Just a little, like, hauler. Look. There we go. Which is pretty cool. I can actually get behind this one. Again, I think it would make quite an armoured, nice little Cybertruck sort of thing. It's got the exhaust in the right place. It's got the Cibi style lights on the front. Yeah. And then the last few things we got, I suppose I'll cover them off in this bit and we'll put some pictures in after. I got a big carry thing. Like a car transporter. Do you know the well, it's on screen, so of course you know you can see it. Do you know the ones for you put the cars in it? So this I'm going to see about maybe converting it into like a Gaslands style carry case for all the cars and the templates and stuff like that. It was only £2.50. It had two of the cars in it from this kind of like haul. So we got that. We got another fold-up one, which is this one. It's like a trailer. It's got some track on it. That so I can have a little bit of play around with some track, and maybe do some bits like that. The problem with that track is it's the really steep cornered incline, so I can't really do much with it terrain-wise. We got some wooden blocks because Bill makes stuff and Dan does stuff, and Peachy all say you should have blocks from charity shops to make terrain from. So I got a big bag of blocks, and they were only, I think, £2. And then we got these, this really cool, like a Meccano, like a kid's Meccano. The drilling, it works. It bolts together, so that'll make some interesting looking terrain and some ramps and, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, so there you go. That was the Retford Rampage haul. We got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. So now the things that I'm buying are going to be specific cars that I want for Gaslands teams rather than the charity, unless I come across, you know, like some mega bargains and that, because we now have got well over 100 cars to convert and put together, and then very soon I'm going to do a little showcase of some of the cars that we've done already. So as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Captain Jack Gumption, and until next time.